Okay. We're going to begin on 128 with Hine Matov from the Psalms.
Hine Matov u'manayim sheberachim v'yakov. Hine Matov u'manayim sheberachim gam yachad. Try with me. Hine Matov u'manayim sheberachim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim sheberachim gam yachad. How good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is,
How sweet it is.
to be together on this day. How good it is,
How good it is.
how sweet it is,
How sweet it is.
to be together on this day. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Hine Matov u'manayim sheberachim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim sheberachim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim sheberachim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim sheberachim gam yachad.
Let's take a nice deep breath of Shabbat air. Breathe in, despite the humidity and the heat, that insufferable heat in Buffalo, of all places. Let's breathe in the fresh air inside. Let's breathe in the fact that we have air conditioning in our beautiful sanctuary and appreciate that. It is not something we should take for granted, right? I'd like to read a poem by Marianne Williamson. It's called Our Greatest Fear. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We asked ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. We are so blessed to come together on our Pride Shabbat, on a regular Shabbat, a joyous Shabbat. Look around at our wonderful community. Each one of you is unique and holy. We celebrate together all those moments. I'm going to invite Bruce Chorus to offer our welcome home.
I like this, by the way. I like the welcome home thing. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. For those of you that haven't been here in a little while, I used to come up and say, welcome. And Rabbi Alex read somewhere that we shouldn't say welcome in a synagogue because that implies that you're not part of this. And so I said, what can we do? I said, welcome home. This temple is our spiritual home. We are the family. And this is actually, I said this before, this would be our living room. This is our gathering place. So this is where we're all together on a Friday night. It's not the kitchen. Joanne's busy, cooking in the kitchen for the Oneg anyway. But anyway, it's a nice place for us to be on a Friday night. So welcome home to our spiritual home. I do think one thing, by the way, the rabbi said, let's take a deep breath. As long as we're doing it inside, because outside the pollen will knock you out. So inside with the air conditioning is a good place to do that. This is our Pride Shabbat. It's a special evening. Rabbi and Cantor have some wonderful things planned for us. and then I'll be back a little later with the announcements. We have, as we hit June, we're now in June, lots of stuff coming up in the next couple weeks, and before you know it, we're going to be out there under the tent. Good thing we're not out there tonight. It's actually too hot for us to be out under the tent tonight. This would be what, a sweaty Shabbat? I think so.
Schwitzing.
A schwitzing Shabbat. Ooh, I like that. We'll do that before the summer's over. We will do a schwitzing. Thank you, Alex. We'll do a schwitzing Shabbat. Anyway, welcome home, Shabbat Shalom. I'll be back later with the announcements.
For me than a freezing.
Schwitzing Shabbat.
Schwitzing Shabbat for me would be worse than a freezing Shabbat. I would choose freezing any day. That's why I moved to Buffalo. We are going to turn to our candle lighting on page 120, and we are so lucky to have Maya over here, who became Jewish this week. And we welcome her up to light our candles for Shabbat. Maya, you've seen her around. She's been here consistently the last 3 years, and what a difference she's made in our community. Oh, almost. They just never, I tell you, the Catholics, they know how to make those things light. I don't know how they do it. I'm going to go ask my priest friends. I just don't know how they do it. There's got to be a secret. Oh, we bring in the Shabbat lights as we sing the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehalikneh shel Shabbat.
May these candles light our way into Shabbat, into Maya's first Shabbat as a Jewess. And if you want to lift up our Kiddush cup, Kiddush is on page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei b'riah ka'afen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uv'ratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh b'reshit, ki hu yom tehilah, lemikra kodesh, zecher l'tzion b'Yisrael, ki banu v'atata, yotanu kiddashta, mikolim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uv'ratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, v'kadesh hashavat.
Amen. L'chaim. Mazel, you don't have to. It's up to you. You can drink it. Mazel tov. And we wish you a wonderful mazel, and we're so glad for you to be part of our community here. Yeah. I don't know. The better question is that her first time having Manischewitz. I actually don't know. In the outside the Jewish world, do people have Manischewitz? You use it for cooking, I think. Sometimes. Yeah. It's just so you know, we do these rituals all the time, and I peeked a little bit, and I saw a lot of people covering their eyes. I don't know. Not everyone knows why you cover your eyes. It's a simple reason. when you light the candles, you're not supposed to light on Shabbat. So you cover your eyes to pretend like you have it lit. Now, I love this reason. It's sort of you're tricking your brain. And by the way, I had stitches removed this week. It works not to look at things. So it does work. Yes, no.
Well, I like when they have like pictures of puppies and things like that on the wall, so you could just stare at the pictures.
That's why they have those puppies there. Now I figured it out. We're going to welcome Shabbat officially in this room with L'cha Dodi. That's page 139, 138, 139. And we are going to sing, as is our new tradition, the first, second, fifth, and ninth. Okay, so if you're looking for a new 4-digit code, this is it. 1, 2, 5, 9. That's not mine. Standing for our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu, page 146. This is our call of community, and each of us is part of this sacred and holy community.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Ha'ed.
Over the course of tonight, I'm going to be reading special readings in honor of Pride Shabbat. This one comes from the Religious Action Center. Each of us carries the divine spark within, and when those sparks come together, be they 2 sparks in marriage or many sparks in community, there is that much more godliness in the world. Bigotry prevents the sparks from uniting, from joining with other sparks, Bigotry and hatred keeps people in their shells afraid. Bigotry is the absence of justice, so pursuing justice means dealing with bigotry head on. It means educating others about the diversity and beauty of God's creation. It means not being afraid of ourselves. It means letting our sparks shine as bright as they can. For where there is light, there is hope, and justice penetrates the dark. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. Praise to be you, God, ruler of the universe, who has made all of us in the image of your God, in your image, as amazing, awesome, and wonderful creatures. We continue with Avat Olam, page 150.
Avat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochveinu v'komeinu, nasiach berukacha, v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem hayenu ve'orech yameinu, u'vahem negeh yomam v'layla. V'yavatecha atasi b'menu li'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated on the next page, 154. We'll continue with the Via Hafta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha, ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher Elohim etzavecha hayom ha'levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'ham v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shoftecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot hayadecha v'hayu letotavot b'neinecha u'chtavtam hamezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru b'asnitem ekol mitzvotai v'hitem kidoshim le'leichem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotziti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, li'hiyot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
There's another reading from the RAC. That's the Religious Action Center through the Reform Movement. That's involved in a lot of the social action in Judaism in America, really. And this is called The Crossing by Dan Bellum. God did not lead us by the nearer way when Pharaoh let the people go at last, but round about by way of the wilderness. pillars of fire and cloud marking night and day, to the edge of the flood tide, uncrossable and vast. If God had led us by the nearer way, we cried, we wouldn't die here. Let Egypt oppress us as it will. Let us return to the past. But we have come out by the way of the wilderness, in fear, on faith, free now, because we say we are free, no longer the unchosen, the outcast. God did not lead us by the nearer way, but into rising waters which do not part unless with an outstretched hand we stretch forward and stand fast, round about by way of the wilderness. We have come, blessed with love, lesbian, gay, are sanctified in ways of our own, to bless our God who did not lead us by the nearer way, but round about by way of the wilderness. On that theme, we turn to Micha Mocha, page 158.
Mi kamocha ve'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha edar b'kodesh nabrati.
And of course, as this is Pride Shabbat, we're going to turn to 161 at the top. Let there be love.
This is by Noah Aronson. I was just on the phone with him today.
Really?
I said, we do some of your pieces.
We're trying to maybe bring him, I don't know. Probably.
We had another discussion and other discussions with other people, and we bring it to the Adult Education Committee, and then we sift through it all. And whatever we can't do this year, we'll do next year. That's the good thing about it.
Next year in Jerusalem.
Yeah. I hope you all sing with me. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, B'shachar v'shalom, V'ha'amidenu, Shomreinu l'chaim, Ufros aleinu, Sukkot shalom lecha. Let them be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, L'shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
I invite you to rise if you're able. We're going to take a few moments for our own private prayers. The Amidah can be found on page 164 to page 180. Feel free to read the Hebrew or the English or just your own private thoughts and prayers. And whenever you're ready, you may be seated. We have a very special song that Cantor picked out for now. Is it in the leaflet or people just know?
No, I think everybody knows the chorus though. And then we will be singing one of the choruses to Oseh Shalom, so you can open up to page 180. We've been doing this for a couple of years now. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hills are oceans and rivers, enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. Oh, say shalom, Biroma, Huyah, say shalom, Aleinu, Ve'alkom, Israel, Ve'imru, Amen. Bring the heavens down to the earth. See God's beauty and love each and every day. Hold both darkness and light with a gentle heart, and sing with joy, and let us all proclaim what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. No, not just for some, oh, but just for everyone.
I think it's beautiful that a lot of the songs we've done tonight really link together, really on this theme of love and openness for everyone. Looking out at everyone here tonight, it's really special to have a Pride Shabbat and to have a Pride weekend here in Buffalo. And it's something that I personally don't take for granted. Having been here in Buffalo for 15 years, and lived as a human longer than that, I know that the way that we celebrate today and our ability as a Jewish community and a larger community to really celebrate in full force here in Western New York is not something to be taken for granted. I was looking back at old files, and believe it or not, computers are wonderful, aren't they? They store everything, and when you write something, it's kind of there. So my very first My View column, today I had a My View. I love that. Anyone who wants to write, I'd be happy to help you write. It's a beautiful communal response, and a lot of our members, a lot of people in our room today have written columns at time to time. But I actually have a record of the very first time I sent one in. It was not accepted. I didn't know what it was. I can see I didn't follow the format. It's much longer than it should have been for the 600 words they gave you. But it was in response to my first Pride Parade in Buffalo. So this is roughly 15 years ago. And as a new rabbi in the area, I was invited to offer a blessing. And the Pride Parade at that point was leaving off of Bidwell Avenue. It was on Main Street. It was before it moved down to Buff State, where it is now. And this is my reflections. I want to read it as in the context of what it was. So remember, this was 2009. The world was a very different place in 2009, especially when it comes to LGBTQ plus rights. Things were different. Our understanding, our community was different overall. And so see this, and Shir Shalom did not exist. This is written from my perspective when I was at Temple Sinai, and only a Reconstructionist rabbi. Now I'm both Reform and Reconstructionist. So this is what I wrote. I'm not the sort to be in the center of a parade, but this past Sunday, that is exactly where I found myself. I'd been asked to give a blessing to start the Pride Parade, and afterward was ushered over to the clergy mobile. They actually had that, a clergy mobile. There I sat on the top of the back seat of a convertible with 3 other fellow clergy members riding slowly down the streets of downtown Buffalo. As I waved to the thousands of people who lined Elmwood Avenue, I saw the raw emotion in their eyes in witnessing a religious voice that could embrace them in love. I felt sad that there was only one car of clergy and knew how important it was to be there that day. I am proud to be part of a religious denomination that openly supports gay marriage. I also recognize how rare that is. So many of my colleagues and friends, even those who are privately supportive of the gay community, cannot do so publicly for fear of the retribution they would receive in their own faith groups. As a Reconstructionist rabbi, I am not only allowed to speak for gay rights, but I am encouraged to do so. A 1993 report by the Reconstructionist movement states, "We regard the Jewish values that affirm the inherent dignity, integrity, and equality of human beings as having primacy over historically conditioned attitudes based on texts that condemn homosexuality as an abomination. It is our duty to correct the misunderstandings and resulting injustices of the past and to fulfill the Jewish obligation to seek justice." Reconstructionist Judaism is one of the 4 major Jewish denominations in North America, started in the 1920s by Mordecai Kaplan, a rabbi who sought to reach out to American Jews disenfranchised by their own faith. Reconstructionism embraced democratic values and equal rights for all Jews, whether man, women, gay, or straight. Kaplan's ideology led us to become the first Jewish movement to ordain gay and lesbian rabbis, and more recently to push for marriage equality. More than that, though, I am the rabbi of a synagogue that fully embraces gay rights. Our membership of over a little 200 families, going back Temple Sinai days, has many gay or lesbian singles and couples. No distinctions are made by sexual orientation. As one of the organizers of our Pride Shabbat service, which I should say is the only service of its kind in the Buffalo area back then, now I think all of our synagogues do, wrote in an email about why it is necessary to have such a service. For me, it is to celebrate my gratitude that I have a community of Jews with whom to grow as a Jew, where I can worship God just as I am. I do not have to be someone else. I am grateful to be accepted as my perfectly imperfect self. As a testament to how open and accepting our community really is, we had a booth at the Pride Parade, and it was not our gay members that came out to volunteer, but our straight members as well. I saw them as I rode through the parade. They ran up to our car screaming, "Rabbi, Rabbi," smiling broadly as I passed them. Later that night, when I checked my Facebook page, I didn't know we had Facebook back in 2009, I guess so. I saw that a member had written the following statement: "What is happiness? Seeing your rabbi riding past you in the Pride Parade." I recently attended a Pride in the Pulpit breakfast for the first time. These are opportunities for clergy members to come together to learn about issues affecting the LGBTQ community in the Buffalo area. Again, there were very few of us at the table. For about a half an hour, we discussed strategies we could take to get our voice out there. So often, the only clergy quoted in the paper or television are those who believe gay marriage is heretical. Afterwards, I was handed a sheet to sign. On it was a question: "Do you believe in marriage equality?" Happily, I checked yes. There must be a religious voice on the other side. I do not believe in a God that could condemn a person because of his or her sexual orientation. I believe in a God who loves all of us, who we are as we are. I believe in a God who encourages us to treat each other with respect and to reach out to one another to make the world better. Before giving the blessing at the Pride Parade, I asked Reverend Joel Miller, the minister at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Buffalo, back in the day, what I should say. Just tell them God loves them. Simple, to the point, and exactly what all of us, no matter our sexual orientation, needs to hear. It's interesting reflecting back all those years. 15 years goes by in a blink, and it's also a lot happens. I came kind of in the middle. I look out at Sherry Joe, who I believe was in charge of actually getting the original charter together. Is that?
I got the first Pride Parade permit.
The first permit, which is a hard process. I've tried that before. Yeah. And look where we are now with so many people that will be joining out there. So back when this was written, marriage equality was up for debate, And I'm proud to say it was one of the clergy members here, Rabbi Tannenbaum, that we were sitting in Harry Rosenfeld's office over at Temple Beth Zion, downtown. And it was myself and Erwin and Harry and I think the assistant at the time, maybe Alana, whoever was there at the time. And we sat down, and Mark Grisanti, who was debating whether to sign on to the New York State marriage equality bill. And we sat there, and it was Erwin who really spoke from his heart, and he spoke about how this is a religious mission. And Mark, if you knew him, he was very religious, Catholic, and he didn't want to go against and when he heard about this, and Mark said, there's about 1,200 rights you get as a married couple, and it is not fair to withhold those rights. And they needed 2 Republicans, I believe, to sign the bill in New York State, and they needed 1, but they got 2. And Mark was one of them, and he was not reelected afterwards. But he did take that very important action on that day, and I very much respect him. And it came from conversations just like that of people in our community. We used to have, at that point, Carol Spesser, that would lead the Rainbow Rising event that Temple Beth Zion always hosted. It was a wonderful event. It was joyous and full of love and very hot in there, I remember. But it was one of the staples of our community. And then when marriage equality passed, I think it was sort of, we're going to put our energy towards the Pride Parade. It kind of lost its steam. But there's still so much to fight for. Until all of us are accepted, none of us are accepted. Our door to welcoming needs not, we need not believe that to be part of a community means to limit who is in it. It is very important that we recognize community is about keeping as open a door as possible. The community is about people that come in and out and all in between, and everyone needs to feel validated. I recognized on that day, and I was naive as a new rabbi, as a new pulpit rabbi, I didn't realize that I would be one of the few voices out there at the Pride Parade. I didn't know that others wouldn't join, that it was very difficult. Even if they supported, they couldn't be there. It happened to be Sunday morning, so for church services, that was hard. And I saw how important that's why I wrote this original article that wasn't published. But it still is a challenge. If you go into Target, you can see they moved the Pride material away. There's a lot of politicking involved, and that's really a shame. It shouldn't come down to that. We need to understand that all of us need to be seen in that way. I'd like to close because we're going to do the priestly blessing. This is the week. It's perfect week for our Pride Parade or Pride Shabbat here in Western New York because we have the priestly blessing in the Torah text. And the priestly blessing is this most unusual blessing, and we have no idea what it means. It's about something, and we know it's important, and we know every time that Cantor and I do it, it's magical, but I actually can't tell you exactly what the words mean. The first one, God will bless you and watch over you. That part I understand. God shines your light upon you and grant you comfort. Kind of understand that part. It's this next line. God lift God's face. That always gets me. What does it mean that God should lift God's face to you? What does that mean? What did it mean? I want to ask our ancestors going back thousands of years. What did it mean? Did you look each other in the face? Because in different cultures, it's different. And I think it comes down to seeing each other, whoever you are, lifting, acknowledging, knowing that your presence matters. And that's how I see that end of the prayer. So we're going to invite everyone to rise at this point. And why don't we I'm going to have Naomi come up here. Sherry Jo, are you able to carry something? Can we have you carry the Torah as you represent our history of our Pride Parade here in Buffalo, and you should be acknowledged that way. So Naomi, come open the ark for Sherry Jo here. She was waiting to idea. Why don't we, is it okay to walk down here?
Of course.
Why don't we have everyone come surround her? Okay? As your comfort, I know in this day and age, however you're comfortable. And we'll lift our hands together over in the words of the ancient prayer. May God bless you and watch over you. May God shine God's light upon you and grant you peace. No, grant you comfort, sorry. Got ahead of myself. May we all lift our eyes and our faces to each other to see the true and individual selves that we all are and celebrate those lives and bring peace with it. And we say, Amen. And I think did you have a Shekiano? Is that what I have?
Oh, we can do that. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higyanu lazman hazeh.
In this moment, let us celebrate life. Let us celebrate arrival, and let us celebrate a presence in this moment. And we say, Amen. Amen. Thank you. I knew you'd be good support. There goes my keep. I knew that was happening. Why don't we close just the... And you may be seated. We're going to turn now to our healing prayers. Misha Barak on page 371. We will say our list from our community and also send prayers, especially to all those in the LGBTQ plus community that are in need, that people that aren't seen, that are in communities that aren't able to be acknowledged in this world. May we send our prayers to them. So I'm going to read our list, and we'll go around. Just raise your hand afterwards. Richard Zyback, Murray Edinger, Carol Frank, Ida Frost, Maureen Furlong, Michael Gettings, Sam Golden, Freda Goodstein, Dick and Kathy Gordon, Heather Houston, Miles Levy, Savannah Lucas, Megan McEvoy, Gail Nosenchuk, Leslie Oken, Robert Pozis, Ilya Ratner, Aidan Raccoon, Maddie Rindenberg, Kel Rosenfeld, Shoal Rossi, Brandon Ryan, Jill Tarabasi, Eleanor Wazileski, Mary Weiss, Robin Weinstein, Mike Wheeler, Shoshana Bat Bracha, Barami Bat Shulamit, Yocheved Bat Esther, Miriam Bat Razel, Avram Bat Rivka, Chana Ezra Ben Shul, Reuben Ben Morris, and Sheila Bernard Tucker. If there's other names, just raise your hand. Yes. Oh, that's so sweet.
Eric Cunningham and Dan Henry.
Patty McCoy. Dave Goddard.
Gary Trieger.
Ryan Bell, and Ruth Spivak, and Lisa Stanhope. Mary Abel and Bob Burkhardt.
All those who feel marginalized.
Yeah, all those who feel marginalized. I forgot to mention my sister-in-law, Elisa Cohen, who had gallbladder surgery, but she's doing So we'll bring all those names together as we sing the Mishaberach, page 371. Healing of body and soul. If you could look in your leaflet, we have these yellow sheets here. And on one side we'll be singing I Have a Voice later, but the blessing for pride. Let's do that together. Makor HaChaim, source of life, you have blessed each of us with your spirit. In your wisdom, you have made each of us a unique treasure. Mayim Chayenu, wellspring of our lives, cause us to flow with courage, strength, and compassion, to live our stories openly, proudly, and joyfully. Shekhinah, the feminine name of God, expounded upon in rabbinic literature and then by Kabbalist and extensive literature of the feminine attributes of the divine. That's supposed to be parentheses. Okay. Shel Ahava, presence of love. You embrace us with your love. May we embrace ourselves, our partners, our lovers, our friends, our children, our dear ones with the power of your Ahava Rabbah, your unending, boundless love. Ruach, spirit, some of us, okay, skip a little bit. Rather than, skip down to Hashalom. Ruach Hashalom. Spirit of peace and wholeness, open our eyes to the gifts and blessings we offer and receive from each other. Open our hearts to welcome each other fully and truly. Open our hands to embrace, to support, to lift each other. Begila, Barina, Beshalom, Uvereut. With joy, with song, with peace, and with friendship. Today, on this Shabbat, as we celebrate our renewal, pride, and community, let us walk together with strength, compassion, and love. Nivarech et me'anyen chayenu tekadesh u'tisamech otanu v'yata Shabbat. We bless you, wellspring of our lives. May you fill us and Shabbat with joy and sanctity, and we say, Amen. Now we're going to have Naomi one more time to come up, open our ark for Aleinu. The work is not done with just our prayer service. We need to go out and do great things in this world to make a difference. Page 586. And if you're able to rise, please rise.
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ היום
may be seated. We'll turn to our mourner's Kaddish. We know how important this is, and we have people here that are observing Shiva or Yard Site. We had a number of losses this past week. First of all, Jim Miller, who is the father of Gail Kerman. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family. It was a sudden death of her father, and we know he'll be a blessing. And Sophia Shevat, who's the sister of Liz Sloan and the aunt of Jessica Cunningham. On our Shloshim list, those who died in the past month, we are remembering Lenore Altman, Marvin Frankel, Esther Green, David Meller, Janet Hess, Dennis Preve, Alex Ratner, Michelle Schaefer, Richard Seitz, and Lynn Ullman. On our yard site list from years past, we remember Florence Antonoff, Nathan Berman, Molly Bernhardt, Gerald Berzone, Anita Breger, Hyman Brody, Alter Shalom Brown, Martha Cantor, Beverly Cohen, Eva Mae Creighton, Gertrude Kramer, Bruna Elkin, Trudy Elwood, Jacob Erlin, Arnold Z. Edelson, Lance Alden Fertig, Jeffrey Gellin, Janet Glasser, Martin Habenstrock, Robert L. Hirsch, Marion Kaplan, Claire Lark, Alois Lemansky, Ida Mackler, Jacqueline Marcus, Marvin Palanker, Cecilia Pohl, Ira L. Posner, Eliahu Puyas, Reverend Elijah Revo, Esther Robinson, Mildred Satrin, Barbara A. Simon, William Sloanham, Lillian Cohn Snyder, Alvin Solomons, Nettie Spector, Blanche Sabatnik, Francis Takiff, Ralph B. Tufts, Cora Vizzi, George Weintraub, and Maury Zeldis. There's other names you'd like to mention? All those whose custom it is to rise, the Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divrach hirtei v'yamlik malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei olmaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemeda kudasha b'rechu. Leila min kol b'chata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlamar rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom v'yimru amav. Huya says shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony and high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world. And we say, Amen. May their memories be for a blessing. You may be seated. I'd like to invite up Bruce again to offer our announcements.
You're wondering why I have this.
Oh, yeah, let's see.
He's thinking, why does he have his prayer book? There's a prayer we often read on Friday nights, and we didn't tonight, but it's really fitting. I just want to read the last line of it, and you'll know what it is. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Very fitting tonight, as it is on every night. So I just wanted to throw that one in there as well. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you, very special thank you, of course, to Rabbi Alex and Cantor Frank and Nick Stelzer for a very meaningful service tonight in honor of Pride. A very, very meaningful service this evening. Your my view was, you look at what you wrote 15 years ago and where we are today, there's still a lot of work to be done. But giant steps have been taken, giant steps. But there's still so much more that needs to be done. More so in other states than in New York, but in here as well. So we will continue to take those steps. Thank you to Jill Hamilton. Where's Jill? There you are. Thank you to Jill for being our service greeter this evening. We appreciate that. Tomorrow morning, virtual offering is Torah study at 9 a.m. That's via Zoom. Shabbat morning service is at 11, and that's at Canterbury Woods this week. Also tomorrow morning is, of course, the defensive driving class. Quick show of hands. Who has taken that class from me? Look at that. Look at all the people that have supported the temple by doing that. That's great.
These bad drivers.
Well, they're better now. They're much better now. So that's tomorrow morning, and if you haven't signed up yet and you're still thinking about it, we do have room. Chat with me afterward at the Onig. We still have some spots available if you'd like to. Sunday morning, the rabbi mentioned, we have the Pride Parade. Join your friends from Jewish Buffalo there. That will be Sunday at 11. It begins at Elmwood Avenue, at Forest Avenue, and there will be a Jewish Buffalo table. Be sure to stop by. This coming Tuesday, of course, Shabbatas. That is back. If you pre-order, you're guaranteed of getting a dinner before we sell out, which we do. Thank you to everyone who supports Shabbat and, of course, volunteers for it. It's very important to us. During the month of June, our Tikkun Olam team is collecting food and personal item donations for the Tiger's Den Food Pantry. Please bring a donation every time you come to temple. That will be wonderful. Again, food and personal items. Sunday morning, our Pittsburgh trip leaves. Show of hands, who's going? Look at that. Who's going to go to the baseball game?
Am I the only one?
Really? You're the only one going to the baseball? Oh, man. Well, Nancy and Mike are going to the baseball game. It's the Cardinals. Of course they're going. Anyway, we want to wish all of those people a safe trip. Enjoy the sights of Pittsburgh. It's going to be a wonderful... You're going to Pittsburgh next week, but you're missing the bus. You're not going to be on this one. Well, have a safe trip to Pittsburgh as well. Oh, okay. Well, Nancy put a wonderful trip together. We appreciate all the work that she does on that. So please have a wonderful trip. A couple things coming up in July that I want to mention. The Summer Arts Camp will be offered July 10th to the 14th. That's from 9 a.m. to noon for kids K to 4th and 5th grade through 8th. Music, art, theater, movement, and more. There's a flyer outside the sanctuary. And then our big summer event, Saturday the 15th, correct? That is our Summer Fest, our second annual one, and we are going to continue that tradition. That's not going away. You remember last year what a wonderful evening it was. It will be just as wonderful this year. Dinner, dancing under the tent. It's a wonderful perk of being a member here, and we hope to see many of you there. Get your reservations in. Minimal cost, only $10 a person. It certainly does not cover our costs. We keep them, we want to encourage you to attend. And it's a wonderful evening. So please get your reservations in. That is Saturday, July 15th. Other upcoming events are listed in the service leaflet. Please feel free to take it home with you and post it on your refrigerator. Julia scans hers and puts it in her phone, so she has everything ready. It goes right. She scans it into her head. Oh, that's good. She puts it under her pillow at night. So in the morning, Chris says, Julia, what events are coming up at Temple? And she knows. That's why she's a great member. If you would please join us in the Onig afterward. If you'd like to sponsor an Onig for a special occasion or for no good reason at all, talk to Joanne. She'll be happy to bake whatever you want. If you need anything at all, please feel free to reach out to the rabbi, the cantor, Joanne, Todd, or myself. We are here for you. And this congregation is here for you. It's a very special place. It's a very special group of people. Thank you for being part of this wonderful Shir Shalom family. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. In just 2 weeks will be our marriage reconsecration service.
Thank you.
So not this Friday night, next Friday night. If anybody, the 16th, we have some guest artists coming, and it's going to really be special. So please come, even if you're not getting reconsecration.
And it's not just if you're celebrating a milestone anniversary. It's for anyone who wants to take part. Please let Joanne know.
Absolutely. And then don't forget Hawaiian Shirt Shabbat. I think it's July 14th. Yeah? Joanne?
Yep,
Yeah.
July
Okay.
14th.
She's just enjoying herself back here. It's like, no one's bothered me yet. Well, I just bothered you. So Hawaiian Shirt Shabbat, and thank you.
All right, you got a wonderful song to close with, and it's on those yellow sheets. Right on the other side. I can't find mine.
This is
I have a voice.
another song by Alana Arian, who that Hine Matov that we do regularly. That's one of her pieces also. We do a few of her pieces. And this is done in call and response. I say a phrase, you repeat after me. Every time we get to the verses, they're repeated. So you'll get the hang of it if you haven't heard it already. I will open my eyes.
Open my eyes.
I will not look away.
I will not look away.
I will use this gift I've been given every day. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will give up myself.
I will give up myself.
I will reach out my hand.
I will reach in my hand.
I will use this heart I've been given to take a stand. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will fight for the truth.
Fight for the truth.
I'll stand up for what's right.
I'll stand up for what's right.
I will use the strength I've been given to be a light. Everyone, I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. As you came in peace, may you leave in peace. Please return your Siddur, your prayer books to the front minus the leaflet, and join us for the Oneg. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.